Alright, y'all can you hear me? I'm not sure. Last time I had issues with it. How many people we got on here? But yeah, can y'all hear me okay? Can you hear me? I'm not sure. I'm playing on my phone, so if you just heard the echo, that's my fault. Uh, Latency's low again, so what y'all hear is a few minutes delayed. Not probably actually about a minute. It's probably about a minute delayed, maybe a little under. It'll probably change the whole thing, but pretty much just doing a recording, so I don't gotta screen record. Instead, I just do it live, so I don't gotta like screen record and save a video and upload. It's a lot easier if you just do a live video here. Hey Arden, uh, can you hear me? I'm trying to check and see who all can hear me and stuff. Because I had mic issues and stuff last time. But yeah, if y'all could let me know if you could hear me fine and everything, that'd be pretty cool. Okay, chat's not popping up. Can y'all not hear me or something? Or is the latency just that bad? Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and go at it and hope y'all can hear me, cause you can. I don't know. Maybe y'all just don't have your audio on. Who knows? Okay, so today we have the slight risk that is into southwest to just the west northwestern part of it's pretty much about the whole western side of Oklahoma is in a slight risk here, along with a marginal that extends through about the middle of Oklahoma, and it loops around the slight risk into Kansas and oh crap, what is that state? Doesn't matter. So the slight risk also extends into Texas, along with the marginal that extends around that area in Texas, and then does a little 90-degree turn here and heads into Louisiana, and that line's drawn right on the border of Arkansas, so you can count Arkansas on that marginal risk there. General risk, it's not important, but you can see the lightest green there. Day one isn't what caught my eye. I'm really focused on the slight risk for tomorrow around my area in the southeast. That is what I mainly cover, except when we have outbreaks or potential outbreaks. I like to cover this. So for those who are new, I I'm not like a person who just covers. I don't cover any severe event, and I don't go on my way to do it. If I have free time, then I'll do it. It's just a little bonus, but mainly concerning me is for tomorrow. I'm not concerned, but I am interested in seeing maybe what I could capture around Escambia County and just the Panhandle. Might go chasing if things start to turn out, but I'm not counting on chasing very much because models have changed a lot from yesterday, and they've also shifted the slight risk north, which didn't make any sense in my opinion. Uh, to me, it would make sense to extend it, keep it south like it was yesterday. Maybe I could I don't think I have it saved anywhere, so I probably can't get yesterday's. I know I can somewhere, but I'm not really experienced in the archiving stuff. Archiving, sorry. Uh, but yeah, I think they should have made the slight risk, kept it all the way south down to the coast, and just maintained it just a little bit over the Alabama and Georgia border, the north or south border. When I go to play models, I'll explain why. But for the most part, uh, here I'll I'll read this in a minute if you give me one or just a few seconds here. Let me check one. Okay, sorry about that. Our summary, actually, excuse me. Okay, so our summary is isolated scattered severe thunderstorms are possible Tuesday over parts of the southern, central Alabama, and Georgia, as well as southern coastal South Carolina. Strong to damaging wind gusts, large hail, and future winds may occur. Let's see. Alright, the warm sector. When I go look at all the models and stuff, you'll see. I don't think that's too. It seems like they're trying to get too exact here on the day too. I don't think that it's any useful to move the slight risk just a little more north. I'm not trying to wish cast since I live here, like, but to me, I would think pull it safe because the storms are my models have varied, but it looks that there's going to be coming, you know, west to west to east. Some of them may be pulling up very slightly north, but for the most part, they're not really going to like stay out of our area. They're gonna some may come through our area and become severe later. It's just a matter of timing on it. So I think that it's not it wouldn't make sense to me just to extend it all the way up there just in that little space. That's like what, 50 miles? So when it comes tomorrow morning, then I make my final decision. I could be wrong. That's why, I'm not a professional at this. I'm just an enthusiast, but from what I think personally, I think it should just remain uh, as south, and I mean, I guess you could keep it just as north as it is now. But we can go read the summary here. A shortwave trough will move eastward across the lower Mississippi Valley to south. Damn, let me make this thing a little bigger here so I can read it. A shortwave trough will move eastward across the lower Mississippi Valley and southeast on Tuesday, eventually reaching the Atlantic coast by Tuesday night. A surface low initially centered over central Mississippi should develop eastward across Alabama and Georgia through the day will slowly deepen before moving off the coast of South Carolina. Tuesday evening, a marine warm front is forecast to lift northward in advance of the surface low across parts of the southern central Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, and perhaps far southern coastal South Carolina. Surface dew points in the mid to upper 60s and perhaps approaching 70 Fahrenheit in some locations across the Florida Panhandle in southern Georgia, combined with diurnal heating should support increasing unstable air mass to the south of the warm front by Tuesday afternoon. MLK, what just happened? Okay, it just glitched, but it's still going. Uh, MLK of 500 to 1,000 joules per kilogram should develop, particularly from southern central Alabama, eastward across Georgia. Wind fields at both low and middle levels are forecast to increase through the day as a shortwave trough develops eastward. Effective bulk shear 40 to 50 knots will likely support organized updrafts, including the potential for a few supercells. A 30 to 40 knot west southwesterly low jet will overspread the warm sector, but low-level winds are expected to gradually veer to the southwesternly Tuesday afternoon, which may limit the effective SRH and to some extent. Still, isolated large hail and couple tornadoes will be possible with any cells that can form along south south of the warm front, and maybe a tendency for small clusters, bowing segments to develop and consolidated across parts of southern central Georgia and far south coastal South Carolina Tuesday afternoon. Damaging winds could be an increasing concern with convective mode transitions from semi to straight to mainly linear. So, I mean, I can't see hail being like a threat necessarily. There could be a lot of storms with small hail or smaller hail, but I wouldn't consider as a threat. Um, as far as shear goes, I mean, I looked at soundings and stuff, which we'll look at here in a minute. It doesn't seem that we'll get too organized of an updraft here. We might, I think it's just enough to get a good little thunderstorm going, and possibly severe for, like, you'll get an isolated severe storm for like hail, maybe, that just passes the severe limits or whatever. And as far as straight line winds go, I don't see why it couldn't happen. But again, y'all see when I look at models here. I have a hard time explaining things, so I'm sorry if y'all don't understand a lot of stuff I'm saying. I have trouble, putting what I'm thinking into words, so. Look at surface cape here. Wait, oh, HRRR is 11% complete. I could have sworn it was already done updating, but okay. Looks like we're not looking at HRRR here, but we'll see how the rapid refresh is doing, and that happens to be 100% complete here. We'll check surface cape from rapid refresh, so the last model run, it went from, the massive air and everything moving from west to east, and then it went to training, more of like a training motion, more north or north east. But now it's back to kind of what the previous model run had, just a more easterly movement and motion here. This is as far as we can get into Tuesday, which is 15 Zulu. I'll take a sounding from southeast of Mobile here across the bay and take a look here. Okay, we look at the sounding from, this is southeast of Mobile and east of Mobile Bay. Sounding says surface, wait, is that contaminant? Oh, never mind. It's surface cape is 1,677. The effective inflow layer is 674. So I mean, ML cape is 892 right there. So this thing's really just screaming tornado at us. So I mean, shear. I mean, it has increased since the last time I looked here. We have cloud layer shear at 63 knots. Effective is 66. effective info layers 23. I mean, the low level could be better, and also the higher levels could be. The sounding screams tornado at us, but it's like, I don't really think this is too good of a sounding here as far as tornado threat goes. I mean, I just don't think we're going to get the most organized updrafts and storms as far as that sounding goes. And we look at, I mean, I think that's not important. I just skipped over lid strength. Lid strength, it actually, okay, it does let off here. We have like, pretty much nothing necessarily holding it back very much, but again, there's things that could be better. It's really just definitely not going to be an outbreak here. It's probably just going to be like, watch out, there could be a thunderstorm or two. I'm worried about things that move onshore here that could pose a threat. We have a lot of water spouts sometimes that will move on shore, and usually land friction will stop it. Other times it'll be more of a tornado on water, not a water spout, and we'll have a whole mesocyclone comes ashore. And right now the ocean temperatures are incredibly hot. Just if you can see my cursor, right in here are the hottest ocean temps right now. So we could get Gulf-fed supercells or storms that move ashore, but I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue here. I mean, the warm water can make up for like lack of cape and all that stuff, but I think who knows, something could brew up and make it on land, and once it gets on land, it's already at a state where it can just keep going. Like once it gets to that point where it's like, okay, you've made it this far, the storm makes it this far, it gets to a point where it can start living on its own a little bit more, along with its speed. That's the thing, we got to look at the speed here. If we're having like storms that just kind of pop up and just kind of like wobble around, if we're having slower moving storms, and if we're having slower moving storms that happen to be pretty strong, it's going to kill itself off by its own outflow. It's going to make the warmer air go to cool, and you're having more updraft, or as good as an updraft. So if we have fast moving storms here, then we could get something a little stronger. What I've noticed, storms tend to weaken over Mobile Bay as well. Just nothing like official here. I've noticed it when squall lines will move over. They tend to weaken just after they cross Mobile Bay. I'm gonna try to look in to see like what actually causes that, but I've noticed it for many occasions. But that's not important here. We can look at. Actually, I'm not even gonna bother with Supercell Compositor Sigtor. Look at the NAM here. Ooh, that's some big stuff. Anyways, okay. Now, this is what I can see where the slight risk is coming from that extends north. Here, can y'all excuse me one sec?
Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. Um, okay. So, if the NAM is correct on this, I mean, this can, seems to show a little more northerly, uh, the Cape extends more up north into almost central Alabama and Georgia. Take a sounding from right here. Okay, as far as this goes, it says Surface Cape 2 100, effective is 1,100, ML Cape's 1,167. Um, this one has higher caudal shear and, hold up, that doesn't really make sense in my opinion. Okay, never mind, I was reading it. Shear's a little bit higher as far as high level goes, but low level is even weaker. Um, what is these lapse rate? What? Okay, as far as the lapse rates go, that's pretty concerning, but I don't think this is a usable sounding here. But because this is a NAM. Here's an offshore storm that moves. Uh, looks like it has a little hook too. It moves into Pensacola, goes on shore of Pensacola Beach, and starts bobbling to the east and dissipates, but it looks like, you know, that could be pretty dangerous, if you want to say, or a potential threat. You can tell storms and get intensify as they move east here, and then form a squall line, and then, you know, just move around. But I don't really, I don't really like doing stuff on, like, I'll do it in the morning, check them out in the morning, but I think we just need to watch for hail and a possible rotating storm. I mean, if the shear was any higher, then I think tornado would be, you know, a big threat here. Sorry if you couldn't hear me just now. It should be a little louder. Um, for the most part, I would say, I mean, I guess marginal is pretty doable now that I think about it. But if they're going to have a slight risk, you might as well just put it all the way down to the south instead of some 50-mile distance from the coast. But I don't think there's going to be a severe storm in Pensacola or Escambia County, but I think farther east of the Panhandle, probably past Crestview into Defeniak Springs, there could be a severe storm as far as that area. But again, I'll check in the morning. I might make a video in the morning tomorrow on this, maybe a little shorter. But yeah, for the most part, marginal I think is doable. And I will also be going live tomorrow, if or when the storms start to fire up. If they do, I'll be going live with a live camera and radar, tracking them. I have a webcam that'll be facing west, and I might, you know, just if I go chasing, then I'll bring that along with me. Doubt I am though, but we'll see. So, if you like what you watched, and want to help me out, subscribe, like, and if you want to see possible chasing or severe weather tomorrow as it moves over the area, then definitely consider subscribing. And see y'all tomorrow morning or when the storms fire up. Thanks for watching.